Welcome to the Wrestling Guild podcast. It is the 13th of October. We're going to talk about the Impact Wrestling Go Home show. From the 11th of October, we are getting ever and ever closer to Bound for Glory. It is actually tomorrow. My name is Chris Mary Helpman. With me, I have my constant broadcast colleague, Nick E. Anderson. How you doing, Nick?
I'm all good. Just watching a movie here and there, Pirates of the Caribbean, the fifth one. Just chilling, relaxing, just trying to, charge my batteries, really, like I always do.
Yeah. Are you excited for Bound for Glory tomorrow?
By this particular show, or?
Well, are you excited for Bound for Glory?
Well, sure, I am. Seriously,
you don't sound very excited to me.
No, but I would say I am. We've seen a lot from Impact. Obviously, we've seen a lot of people talking about it. PD, Johnny Impact, Austin Aries, Eli. I'm quite excited, and I think we have some really interesting matches coming up. But at the same time, this go home show that should be really like the last thing to get us really excited and whatnot. It wasn't really 100%, but at the same time, have we ever seen a go home show that is like awesome? I really don't think so. So, because it's with the fillers and whatnot, but I'm satisfied. I'm good. I'm cool.
Well, I think you have a definite point here, because as I was going through towards the end of this show, this particular Impact Wrestling show, I was figuring where is the lead up to all the matches? But then I also understand that they've actually been doing like a whole go home a month, basically, because we've seen, OVE in action. We've seen Phoenix and Pentagon in action. We've seen all these guys in action. And the only thing that was actually connected to Bound for Glory was the trios match between Impact, Ba, Eddie Edwards, Moose, Killer Cross, and Austin Aries. That was the only one that actually had anything to do. And of course, LAX, and the OG. But I'm also thinking how many times now we've seen them go at each other. Why would we want to see it 3 days before the actual show? Right?
Yeah.
I think Impact is trying to keep us excited for the show, and also excited because we saw Grado involved. We saw Jack Evans. We saw a couple of people involved here that we probably won't see at Impact. So I feel it's nice to give them some TV time.
Absolutely, yeah. No, you have a really good point. Absolutely, but the thing that really got me satisfied and really wow, Impact, you stepped it up, is with the last part with LAX and the OGs. They never performed a match. They were just having their own stuff, their own movies. So we'll come to that later. But it was really, I really thought they would give us like a match, and I'm like, okay, so we're gonna see a match of them, and then a match on Bound for Glory as well. Come on, Impact. But they really changed that up. I'm really, really satisfied. Really proud.
That is so true. Well, anyway, yes, we're getting way ahead of the game here. Just wanted to say that it has been Bound for Glory week all week on sltdwrestling.com. Why I say that is, of course, that the Wrestling Guild is presented by sltdwrestling.com. If you're interested in Bound for Glory or anything about Impact Wrestling or any other wrestling organization, why don't you go to sltdwrestling.com and check it out? You can read our latest article where we talk about Tiberius, or Tybo Talks, And the curtain jerker, we all talk about our relationship to the Monster Abyss, who is today getting inducted into the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame. You can stream that live on Twitch tonight.
Awesome. There you have it, folks.
There you have it, folks. You heard it here, not first, but you heard it here. We're also, of course, sponsored by Powerslam.tv. They keep putting new stuff, new content on every week. You can go in on sltdwrestling.com and look at read my weekly column, The Digital Corner, to see what is new on Powerslam.tv. We were highlighting AML Wrestling, which is a company that Impact has worked with together for a couple of times, and especially we talked about our favorite wrestler, Yaya. So if you don't have enough Yaya in your life, why don't you get yourself a free trial subscription to Powerslam.tv? Check out the 18 different shows that AML has put out, and also stay. Why don't you buy yourself a subscription? There's 2,700 plus hours of indie wrestling on Powerslam.tv.
Yeah, I mean it's simply awesome, really. I mean, come on.
Yes, it is simply awesome. You heard it from Simply Awesome, says Nick Anderson. That should be on their website. Simply Awesome.
There you have it.
Endorsed by Nick Anderson.
Shit.
Anyway, let's jump right into it. We've of course had a recap, which is always nice. We also keep having recaps throughout the show, vignettes for every match, but we'll get into that. We start out hot, I think, with a X Division 4-way match. Trevor Lee, Petey Williams, Jack Evans, and the Puma King. We didn't know what he was called. King Cat. I can't remember what we called him last week.
Yeah, it was.
But Puma King is his name. And it was all had to do with Scarlett Bordeaux. And Scarlett Bordeaux they're trying to get into Scarlett Bordeaux's good graces here, so they were wrestling each other in a 4-way match. How did you like this?
I mean, I think it was a really great match to start with. I mean, you had pure action, hard hitting, as well as high flying, fast paced. You had everything in there. At the same time, I don't know why, but I really didn't like how the performance was from Puma. It was a bit, I don't know, passive. I was expecting a little bit more out of him. I think his personality and everything and his outfit looks awesome. I mean, it's really good concept. But I think Petey and Trevor were the ones that were really like.
Well, you got to say that Jack Evans was good too. I mean, the guy did like a handstand somersault Pele kick. He did a moonsault while he drop kicked. He did a moonsault.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, a moonsault on another person after drop kicking somebody. I mean, the guy is like a superhero, basically.
Absolutely. You're totally right. Like these three wrestlers did very well, in my opinion, but at the same time, I don't know, Puma King, a little bit passive, not so much hard hitting. But I'm very ashamed because I really like his outfit and everything. I think it looks good, but yeah.
But it's kind of the same. We were talking about that. We were talking about the like Psycho Clown, and we were talking about like Murder Clown and stuff like that. They have like cool outfits and cool concepts, but it's like they don't bring that into the ring. It's like the outfits is more important than the actual wrestling ability. But then it could be like, I mean, I don't know how long Puma King's been wrestling, stuff like that. You know, their bodies are worn out, stuff like that. So I don't know. They live on with their outfits more than they do their actual wrestling.
Good point. Absolutely. We don't know really, so we can't.
I did think that the match was awesome. That was a great way to get the crowd hyped, and you got to get the crowd hyped because you get the crowd hyped from the beginning. The rest of the show is going to be awesome, and I think they did that. I think we saw some really great matches, even though the matches themselves weren't tied in to Bound for Glory. They were awesome matches in their own rights, and I think we shouldn't forget that.
Absolutely. No, really good point. So yeah, the first match fired on all cylinders. Really, I mean, wow, awesome, good stuff.
Petey Williams wins with a Canadian Destroyer. That is how that ends. I would really like to see them do this at Bound for Glory as well, that they open up with an X Division match. Do you think that they're good? Because if you look at the card, and I was thinking about that when we were writing up our predictions yesterday, which you can obviously go in on sltdwrestling.com and read. There's only like 6 or 7 matches, or 6 matches, like, right? That are announced.
I think it was 6, 7, something, yeah.
That are announced, and that's few for a card the size of Bound for Glory. So either they're giving these matches a long time, or we're going to see more things happen.
I'm thinking there's going to be some surprises here and there. Like you say, we're going to see more matches. Because, 7 matches or 6, they can't really give, like, each one 20 minutes, 25.
No.
After a while, it's going to be boring. Oh, my God. So, yeah, I definitely think we're going to have some surprises, which I'm quite excited for, really. I like when you have surprises here and there. It's good stuff.
We had an interview with Rich Swann, who talks about Matt Sydal and Ethan Page. And then he has announced his partner. Now, there was some speculation before, and this is what's interesting about Impact Wrestling. They tape all the shows beforehand. These 4 weeks have been, this 4 weeks of television has been taped during 2 days. So the matches and results and everything that goes on in the ring that the audience gets to see, that always gets leaked. People know. But it's these backstage interviews and stuff like that, they don't get leaked. So, like, nobody knew that Rich Swann's tag team partner was going to be Willie Mack. That was figured out on Thursday. So that's kind of cool, though, that they know how to keep those surprises going. Because there was speculation that Chris Jericho, who has been there's been a lot of speculation of whether he's going to Impact or not, but that he might have been Rich Swann's partner. But he's not. He's not. It's Willie Mack. Willie Mack we've seen before on the Lucha Underground versus Impact Wrestling show.
No. Oh, yeah.
So that's going to be cool. That's going to be, I think.
Hopefully. I always give people a chance, but you have to bring your A game, people. Come on. I want some hard-hitting stuff. If you're into hard-hitting.
You know what? You need to go check Willie Mack out. If you don't remember him from Lucha Underground, you need to check him out, because if there's a guy that is, he's a little bit heavier. He's a more heavy-set guy, but he can move.
But he can move. Well, I really hope he brings his A game, because if he does, that's going to just be awesome. It's like sometimes Moose goes around, he dances just in the ring here and there, and that's it. You got to bring your A game, Moose. God damn it.
Oh, Moose! I think we're going to see that. But anyway, so that was that. So yeah, and we don't have to do our predictions now. We've already we're putting up our predictions are coming up today on sltdwrestling.com. But it's going to be that was tied into the tag team match between Matt Sydal, Page versus Willie Mack and Rich Swann, which I think is going to be a show stealer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Although I know who Ethan Page is, and I've seen him. I've heard him talk and stuff like it, but I actually have not seen Ethan Page wrestle, except for what he did with when he was Chandler Parks. So we'll have to see. I think. He's a from what I've understood, he's a stud athlete, as they say. But we'll see.
It could be full of surprises then. We don't really know that. God.
Then we had Grado versus Maximo. Now, this is an interesting concept, because I was listening to Don Callis's podcast, Killing the Town, last week, and he was talking about, you need to check out the Grado versus Maximo match. And Maximo is something as interesting as what is called, it's a special concept that they have in Mexico. They're kind of like transvestite wrestlers. They're called exoticos.
Okay.
And so Maximo is an exotico.
Really?
So it's very, very common in Mexico that they have them, and very popular. So if you thought things were odd with Maximo, then yes.
No, okay. Yeah, okay. Well, that explains a lot. All right.
Anyway, so we had Maximo versus Grado. This was actually a fairly decent match. I thought that this was going to be. Of course, they had some back and forth playing around stuff, but I think it was very, very interesting.
Finally Grado actually has a wrestler that is kind of on the same level as him. I mean, sometimes you see people that are over his level, and sometimes you find people that are under his level. But I think Maximo and Grado do a really, really good team working with each other, going back and forth.
Yeah. So, and Maximo wins after kissing Grado and then a schoolboy. And then there was kind of like a thing where Grado kisses him back and leaves. Just a fun thing. Of course, this had nothing to do with Bound for Glory. No Bound for Glory implications here. Just a fun match. And I think it's also kind of like what Impact has been doing lately is that they really play to the hometown crowd. And when they do that, everything just seems so much better.
Okay.
I mean, do you understand what I mean? Because if you play to the hometown crowd, if you play to the people that are there, who know these, they know who Maximo is, and of course the crowd's going to go wild seeing Puma King or La Parka, which makes everything just seem much better because the crowd is into it.
Yeah, it's quite a good move, really. Like you say, they're going to get more excited, and then when they tape it, you're going to hear the audience a lot more, and even the viewers are going to get more interested. Yeah, absolutely.
Then we had an interview with Eddie Edwards, Falaba, and Johnny Impact, which was kind of interesting. Eddie Edwards being crazy, Falaba just saying ba and no, and then
no.
What is interesting here is that you can really tell that Johnny Impact is probably the guy that has the least amount of like acting ability. He has the one that is, I mean, he's cool, he's flashy in the ring, he looks good, he has a good body and everything like that. But he doesn't actually have that much charisma when it comes to talking.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I mean, he's okay, of course. I mean, but at the same time, he's not on the same level as like Eli. No. However, is like a king though, so you can't really compare with that. But absolutely, I agree with you. Yeah, the acting skills from Johnny is. They're fine. They're fine.
Yeah. Anyway, they were just talking about the match that was coming down. Then we had a LAX versus OG's vignette, which was fine. Yeah. Then we had... Huh?
Yeah, there was really nothing to say, really. I mean, no. It was just...
And then we had a GWN moment of the week, which was... Tara versus Madison Rayne versus Velvet Sky versus Angelina Love. Now, Madison Rayne, you know who she is, and you know who Angelina Love is because she used to hang out with David Richards. I mean, we don't have to go into that. Tara wins the Knockouts Championship. How did you, when you compare the Knockouts matches now, which we always rave about, how did you like the Knockouts match? From, I mean, what is this, 5-6 years ago?
I just don't know why, but I mean, if you just look overall, they're always better in the terms of like hard-hitting, fast-paced, high-flying, and, they just take more risks. They really give the crowd everything they got. And even here, because a lot of people, like, when you do a research on the internet, a lot of people are bitching at the women's and like they're not hard hitting enough. It's not interesting. Here, this match from back in the days, wow, what a match! I mean, good stuff. That's really what you can expect. I don't know why here now in the future of Impact they've stopped the hard hitting, the thing with the hard hitting stuff, and it's really really sad. Unfortunately, I don't know.
Anyway, so then we have OVE versus Cage, Pentagon, and Phoenix vignette. Nothing much to say that. Eli Drake shows up. He was interviewed by Mackenzie Mitchell. And he basically says that he's going to have that he makes the rules. He didn't lose. La Parka lost because he introduced a chair. And that he is going to have an open challenge for the Bound for Glory, which I think this is, if Chris Jericho shows up, this is where he's going to show up.
Yeah, did he want someone from New York?
He wanted somebody. Well, the thing was, he said that he can only be somebody from New York. And the problem is or not the problem, but Chris Jericho is a Canadian wrestler. But if I remember correctly, he is actually born in the United States. And I do not know if he's born, and I will check that out right now. Yes, he's an American-born Canadian professional wrestler. Question is if he is born in New York State. Yes, he is born in Manhasset, New York.
Well, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah, then definitely has to be him because, like you say, the rumors and everything you have on Facebook and Instagram. And then he is from New York, and he is born in the United States. So, I mean, what more can you expect?
No, I don't know. And then we had Gursinder Singh versus Rohit Raju. Gama Singh announces it, saying that one of them will have to go home to India.
You're so mean. I mean, poor people, man. I mean, they're like, yeah, I'm going to send my buddy home. Wow.
Well, the question is here if the loser, and I mean, we can say what happened. Rohit Raju wins with a jumping flatliner, and that was fine. But I've got to say, I thought that, I mean, I knew that Rohit Raju was probably going to win because they've been pushing him more, just because he won the kind of like Impact, the challenge there.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely better if you're going to compare between each other, those two, in the Desi Hit squad. But I mean, so what's going to happen now? Is that guy really going to leave? Is he going to go solo? Or?
Well, the thing is, I think they're going to replace Gursinder Singh with somebody else. Maybe Mahabali Shira comes back. That would be perfect. And then I think they're going to repackage Gursinder Singh because I don't think that I think he's going to maybe feud with them somehow.
Oh, okay. So I don't know. I mean, at the same time, I'm not really disappointed. I'm not really trying over here because I really didn't like this hit squad anyways. I didn't think it was working. So for me, I mean, Impact is doing a really great thing here. They're trying to, change it up, switcheroo, as we say.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with the story going forward, but I think that the Desi Hit Squad in itself isn't broken down. I think that it's going to be Rohit Raju and somebody else.
Okay.
So, anyway, Gama Singh starts slapping Gursinder or Rohit Raju for winning. Anyways, everything's just. Then we come to one of two of my favorite matches at this particular episode. It was the trios match of Johnny Impact, followed by Eddie Edwards versus Moose, Killer Cross, and Austin Aries. How did you like this match? I already told you that it was one of my favorite matches.
I mean, it's an awesome match. It really was an awesome match. I mean, hard hitting, fast-paced, high-flying. I mean, everything you could think of. I think really Austin and Johnny really gave 100%. While, though, Killer, I don't know, a bit passive. But at the same time, overall, it didn't really matter. I think Eddie gave good stuff. Moose really did well here. Fala really went. I mean, they really pushed Fala in this match.
Yeah, I know. I think it was really cool that they pushed him. And he did like a super kick in the face of like Austin Aries or something like that.
Yeah. So definitely, improvements here and there. Really impressed and whatnot. But overall, I mean, truly fired on all cylinders.
It was awesome. It was really what it needed to be, I think. And it gets you really excited. What Killer Cross's role at Bound for Glory will be, we don't know. Austin Aries is obviously facing Johnny Impact. Eddie Edwards is facing Moose. Means that Killer Cross, and as far as I know, Falaba is not on the card.
Yeah, I mean, Fala and Killer wouldn't really suit.
No.
So, that's maybe where the surprise matches are going to be. I mean, we just got to wait.
So it was good. Austin Aries hits the Brainbuster on Johnny Impact for the win. If you do the WWE math, like some people like to do, then that means that Johnny Impact is going to win at Bound for Glory, but I doubt it. Usually,
Oh, yeah.
if you lose the last match before the actual match, if you
Mm-hmm.
match, you usually say that he that you're going to win. But I don't think Impact Wrestling is going to do that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, Impact, WWE, different things, and I don't think they're gonna follow that pattern either. So
No.
yeah.
Then we had Ali actually visits James Mitchell, who is much better at playing the piano than Eli Drake.
Yeah. I mean, is he like the devil of Impact? Is he like where you go to hell, or
I guess.
is that where you come to ask for directions and tips
Yeah.
and tricks?
He was. I mean, obviously, he was always a business manager, but before that, he was the manager of a faction called like Disciples of the New Church or something like that, which was like a dark kind of cult-like thing.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
But it was, yeah, so James Mitchell is kind of the devil. Apparently, it seems like Ali has sold her soul to the devil before. They talk about her going through the casket and stuff like that. She asked James Mitchell for her help to save Kira. Yeah. So he's going to open the casket, keep it open, and then she can go in to get her out. So this is obviously going to be, kind of like how we had Decay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That they're going to have like one of those kind of like story, like more movie type things going on.
But I mean, does that mean that we're gonna see Ali and Kira? No. I mean, is that a possibility?
Well, they're going to be there, but I think Ali is going to try to save Kira.
Oh, on Bound for Glory. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be okay. All
This
right,
is going to be like a movie sequence, I think.
No, okay. I thought that would. Okay, all right. I thought it would be in between the go home show and.
No. And then we had Kira versus Tessa Blanchard. Now this was actually apart from the trios match, this was my favorite match of the night.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely liked it, like you say. I think both of them performed really well. I think Tessa finally met someone that is kind of on her level. I still don't think she can really compete with Tessa. But at the same time, there was a good back and forth, hard hitting. So what can you really expect out of her? I don't know. I mean, I am satisfied. It was a good match. You had the hard hitting stuff right there, but I still think Tessa had the upper hand most of the time, and I would have liked to see a bit more back and forth.
I would have liked to see a longer match actually. But I mean, it was hard hitting and it was brutal, and I mean, Tessa got her bell rung several times by Kira.
But at the same time, yeah, like, I mean, I would have liked to see someone maybe more talented to be like kind of on Tessa's level, but I mean, I don't think you're going to get more than this. I mean, you're not going to find anyone else.
No,
I don't think so. I mean, this is it. This is what we have to work with. To be honest, that's the sad truth. But absolutely, the match was good. I mean, not gonna talk shit about that.
Yeah. Then, then we had the LAX OGs Summit. King says that Conan is over the hill and that he's done and they're gonna kill everybody in LAX. He like even told Ortiz is like, your baby girl isn't gonna have a dad anymore.
Yeah, I mean he just goes, has no stop. No, but I mean they just go both of like LAX OGs. They go with each other. They're talking to each other face to face. There's maybe like 5 centimeters in between their faces. Yeah, I mean, and I like how Conan just stands there and looks at him, just watches him.
Yeah.
Doesn't say anything, just looks at him. I mean, that's just terrifying.
And then he says a bunch of stuff in Spanish.
No, I'm like, is someone going to translate with subtitles? So yeah. That was awesome. And like I said in the beginning of the podcast, they didn't actually do a match, which I thought they were going to do, which would ruin the whole point, in my opinion. So I'm really happy they did this. It really got me excited as well.
Yep. LAX says the ceasefire is broken now. It ends now, and Conan and LAX take out or punch the OGs, and they run for the hills. And this episode of Impact ends with a really awesome promo vignette from Austin Aries where he talks about Johnny Impact.
Yeah, that was a good,
That was a really good way. It gave me chills actually a little bit. How good that was.
Oh, yeah, so, hands down, absolutely. I agree with you.
So, once again, though, this was a really low-rated show. It was even lower rated than last week's show. So it was 183,000 viewers. But it seems like Impact Wrestling they announced that they've gotten new partners to help them maybe find a new TV deal.
Because of the issue with with the viewers and whatnot. I don't know. I think they said that they sold out, right?
Well, they sold, yeah. The tapings and everything like that is, but I mean, it's also about who watches you on TV.
Absolutely. But at least like they sold out. There's no empty spaces left, which means that it's still people are still interested. So. Yeah.
So anyway, that was that for this show. I loved it. I'm going to give it a B+. For a go-home show, it was good.
Yeah, I mean, I would give it a solid, really, really nice B. I really liked the show. It was, like you say, it was really good. When at the beginning of the podcast, I was really hating on the episode, but when I think about it, I mean, we had some really good stuff. What can you expect out of a go-home show? I mean, come on. So, yeah, really good, satisfying, and, it gets you excited, interested.
Yeah. Well, Nick, that was that for this week's show. Tomorrow is Bound for Glory. Of course, you and I, we won't be able to see it live because, well, we live on a different continent. So I'm going to start watching it on Monday. That's for damn sure. And then we'll probably do our BFG review sometime during next week.
Exactly. There you have it, people.
Don't forget to follow us on all social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can find us everywhere you find your podcasts, especially on Soundcloud and on Stitcher, but also through Spreaker Radio and SLTD Wrestling Network. Then you can find us on Apple Podcast. That's about it. Bound for Glory tomorrow. I'm excited, so.
Yeah. I mean, I just hope at the same time, I always say I just hope that they perform in an A game. But when I think about the previous Bound for Glory we had was really, really good. I mean, it really fired in all cylinders.
And Slammiversary was really good. And Austin Aries says, we did this at Slammiversary. We've got to top it at BFG.
Exactly. So, I mean, I'm quite sure that Impact will deliver on a really high standard. I think they know what they're doing.
I think so too. Well, Nick, you have a pleasant Saturday, and we'll talk to each other more next week, huh?
There we have it.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. For Nikki Anderson, my name is Chris Mary Hoffman. Don't forget to go in on powerslam.tv and start your subscription for 2,700 plus hours of indie wrestling, but not until after you've watched BFG on Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, so boom then.
Boom. No.